I've been collecting these stories for a while now, and every once in a while one comes in that I have to put down and walk away from. Tonight I have 3 of them. Someone who shared her home with a stranger for 3 days without knowing. A night shift worker who was warned, by the wrong kind of person, about something worse. And a neighbor who vanished, and according to every record that exists, was never there at all. These are real accounts, real people, and every single one of them told me the same thing when it was over. I still don't feel safe. Her name, for our purposes, is Dana, 34 years old, lived alone. 2-story house in a quiet suburb, the kind of street where people leave their back doors unlocked during the day because nothing ever happens there. Dana was not easily scared. She'd lived alone for years and she liked it that way. She had no idea that for 3 days she wasn't actually alone at all. It started with a sound. Tuesday night, 2 a.m. She woke up for no reason. Just opened her eyes in the dark and lay there staring at the ceiling. Then she heard it. A creak. Downstairs. Old houses creak. She knew that. She told herself that, lay still for a full minute, heard nothing else, and went back to sleep. Wednesday night. Same time. Same slow, specific groan of floorboards under weight. Thursday night. This time, the soft sound of a drawer gently closing. She kept finding reasons. The house settling, pipes, a raccoon in the walls, anything, because the alternative wasn't something she was ready to sit with. Friday morning changed everything. She came downstairs, went to make coffee, and stopped. The cabinet above her stove, one she barely ever used, was open, not wide, just slightly. The door sitting at a 45-degree angle when it should have been flush. She hadn't opened it. She hadn't been near it all week. She stood there for a long time just staring at it. Then she closed it, got in her car, drove to work, and spent the entire day unable to shake one thing. Because Dana told me, right when she sent me this story, that it wasn't just the cabinet, it was the smell. Underneath everything that morning, so faint she almost missed it. Not food, not cleaning products, just the warm, lived-in smell of another person. Someone who had been there long enough to leave a trace of themselves behind. That evening, Dana didn't go inside. She sat in the driveway and called her brother. 20 minutes later, he arrived with a friend and they went through her house room by room. They found the setup in the basement, behind the water heater, a sleeping bag, a backpack, canned food, energy bars, a water bottle, and clear, unmistakable evidence that someone had been living there. Not for one night, not for 2, for at least a week, possibly longer. The person was gone. They'd slipped out when Dana didn't come inside on schedule. Police found the entry point, a basement window with a broken latch, the ground beneath it worn flat from repeated use. She wrote, "The worst part wasn't finding out someone had been there. The worst part was realizing, for 3 days, while I cooked and watched TV and slept in my own bed, I was never actually alone." She sold the house 4 months later. She checks her basement every night before she goes to sleep. She says she probably always will. Marcus was 26. New city, not much money, and the only job available on short notice was the overnight shift at a gas station off a 2-lane highway, the kind of road that's busy during the day and completely empty at night. Midnight to 8 a.m. Just him, the hum of fluorescent lights, and the dark outside the windows. He liked the quiet. He was fine with it. The 3rd week in, the quiet started giving something back. 3 a.m., a Tuesday. Marcus was behind the counter when he heard 3 knocks at the door. Not the bell from someone entering, just 3 slow, deliberate knocks on the glass. He looked up. A woman, maybe 55, 60, small frame, long coat, strange for a summer night, standing completely still, looking directly at him through the glass. He buzzed the door open. She walked in, went to the back cooler, stood in front of the drinks without moving for a long moment, then brought a single bottle of water to the counter. He rang it up. She paid in exact change, coins counted out slowly, eyes never leaving his face. He said, "Thank you." She said nothing. She walked back out and turned onto the highway, not toward the parking lot, not toward a car, directly onto the 2-lane road and into the dark. Wednesday night, 3 a.m. 3 knocks. Same woman, same coat, same water, same coins. This time he tried to talk to her, asked if she was doing all right. She looked at him for a long moment, then quietly, "You should go home after this." He asked what she meant. She picked up her water and walked out. Marcus went back and pulled the security footage from both nights. He watched her come in, buy the water, leave. Both nights, same routine. But when she walked out, when she reached the edge of the parking lot camera's range, the absolute boundary of the light, she wasn't there anymore. No turn, no car, no shadow disappearing into the distance. There, and then not. He kept working the shift. He told himself cameras have blind spots. He told himself a lot of things. Third night. She came in, put the coins on the counter and said, "Something else comes here after I leave. Do not look at it. Do not open the door. Keep the lights on." He tried to ask her what she meant, who she was. She repeated it one more time and left. At 4 a.m., something knocked on the door. Not 3 times, not like a person. It knocked and kept knocking. Rhythmic, relentless, slightly too fast. Like something that had learned what knocking was supposed to sound like, but had never actually done it before. Marcus did not look up from the counter. He turned on every light in the store, every switch, every display case. The knocking stopped, and then, just underneath the sound of the highway, he heard breathing, long, slow, patient, right on the other side of the glass. He kept his eyes down. He kept the lights on. After what felt like 10 minutes, the breathing went quiet. He quit 3 days later. He told me, "I don't know who she was. I don't know what came after her, but I know she was trying to help me." The new guy didn't last a week. Of the 3 stories tonight, this is the one I keep coming back to. Not because it's the most terrifying, though it is. Because the man who sent it to me, I'll call him Eli, wrote to me twice. Once with the story, and then again, a week later, to tell me something he'd left out. That second message is the part I can't shake. Eli had just moved into a new apartment building, 3rd floor, end of the hallway. New city, didn't know anyone, keeping to himself. His neighbor across the hall, Unit 3D, was a woman in her late 30s. They'd nodded at each other in the hallway a few times. Quiet, kept to herself. About 2 weeks in, he heard her crying through the wall. Not loud, the kind someone tries to keep small. He almost knocked. He decided he didn't know her well enough. That was Thursday. Friday, her door was open. Not wide, just slightly ajar. Hallway light on inside. No sound. He knocked. No answer. Pushed the door a few inches and looked in. The apartment was empty, completely empty. No furniture, no boxes, no marks on the walls where anything had hung. Just bare walls and silence like nobody had ever lived there at all. He went to the building manager, said he was worried about the woman in 3D. Had she moved out? Was she okay? The manager looked at him strangely. He said, 3D has been vacant for months. Eli said that was impossible. He'd seen her, spoke to her, multiple times. The manager opened his records. No tenant, no lease, no name. Vacant since the previous occupant left 4 months ago. Eli called the police anyway. An officer came, checked the unit, and then sat with Eli and gently suggested he may have confused the floor or the unit number. Eli knew what he had seen. He went back upstairs, and standing at his own door, he noticed something he hadn't seen before. At eye level, on the inside of his front door, a small mark, a scratch, made with something sharp, barely visible. He photographed it, sent it to a friend who knew local history. That friend showed it to someone older, someone who knew the neighborhood. That person went quiet when they saw it. The mark was old, something people had used in that neighborhood long ago to indicate a specific thing. Eli asked what it meant. His friend hesitated. It meant, someone here is about to go. Eli sent me the second email a week later. He wrote that in the days after finding the mark, he'd started noticing things. A smell in the hallway he hadn't been able to place. Shadows near his window that moved wrong. and a sound at night, barely audible, coming from across the hall. Coming from 3D, like someone crying, trying to keep it small. He wrote, "I don't know if she was real. I don't know if she was a warning, but I know that Mark was meant for me. And I know that whatever is in that apartment, it is still there. I'm out at the end of the month. I sleep with the lights on now. 3 stories. Dana, who checks her basement every night. Marcus, who kept the lights on. Eli, who is counting the days. I don't have explanations for any of these. I never do. What I have is this. Lock your doors tonight. Keep the lights on. And if you wake up at 2 a.m. for no reason, just lie still and listen."